Hello, my name is Miguel, and I wanted to talk a little bit about my business venture. First, I wanted to talk about what I'm passionate about, which is it comes on a personal level and on a global level. On a personal level, I'm passionate about surfing. I love surfing. I grew up surfing, and it's something that I love to do, and it's a great way to stay in shape, and it's just something I'm very passionate about. And number two, on a global level, I'm also passionate about my architecture. I studied architecture at Florida A&M University, and I got my bachelor's in undergrad in architecture, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. And I would like to use that skill that I possess and maximize it and make money by taking those ideas and those techniques and applying it into a technological venture, which would be through a website. So that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. Let me start with the problem. The problem is that housings and commercial buildings today are built in a fashion that is unsustainable. And although there is codes and regulations and ordinances on how to build buildings today, most contractors and architects are facilitating just that need. They're not going above and beyond, and they're not looking at the larger picture, which is the effects of construction on a large scale to our global system and our ecosystem. So the problem is that construction companies nowadays are building unsustainable. Their frame of mind is that they take a design and they stamp it onto the site, which is where it's going to be built, like the property or the territory that the housing is going to be built upon. But architecture and sustainable design is much deeper than that. So the objective or the goal of sustainable design is to come up with a good fit for that building and a good relationship for that fit and the site. And a lot of that is done through a process of analysis, which is known as site analysis. And the overall goal is for that building, whether it's commercial or residential, to fit into the existing network in a way that benefits not only the residents that live there, but also the community and ultimately the world. So that is my business venture. And I want to create and design on a sustainable level on a large scale. So I want to get people to start shifting over to sustainable design because it helps our ecosystem and it's beneficial, lower cost. It's more of an effective way of building. So that being said, um, when I talked to Donnie about this, we had a meeting and we spoke. One of the main things we spoke about was investors, stakeholders, etc. Why would shareholders or why would the market share or be interested in my or investors be interested in my ideas versus what's already existing? And the answer to that is simple. It's through BIM. And BIM stands for Building Information Modeling. And it's the new facelift for architecture. It's the future of architecture. It's where architecture is going in the future now. All firms and corporations are embracing this new building information modeling because it allows for specific and detailed data to be gathered before the actual build of the project. It's essentially taking a 3D model of the building and creating a simulation. So, and it gives investors and architects and owners an idea of cost effectiveness, how much the materials are going to cost, material tracking, BTUs, and how the weather affects the material throughout the year, because you can run a simulation on the weather patterns, sun patterns. So it's a very detailed simulation of an existing or pre-existing building that someone would want to be there. And so the vehicle that I'm using to transfer it over to a technological venture is that I want to create a website that facilitates BEM, so that a customer can come online and get an idea of what the building would look like through renderings and through interactions with 3D, with the 3D building. They can get a better understanding and make better cost-effective decisions based on the detailed information that I'm going to provide through the BIM 3D modeling. And like I said, I'm going to use a website to do that. Now, some of the problems that this is creating, or some of the challenges that stand before me. The main one is how do I get this idea launched off the ground? And like I said, I want to use a website, and what I'm doing as a solution right now, because it requires not just a regular website, it has to require a website that can handle the technological load that I am going to be using through the BEM marketing. And right now, as a solution to that problem, because I feel that you have to crawl before you walk, that I am making a custom, in the end, in the overall, I'm going to be having a custom overall website that's going to be able to handle that technological load. And right now, as a solution, I'm doing prototypes. I'm using Wix to get familiar and to start getting the creative juices flowing through a template-based website, which is Wix. But Wix won't be able to carry me all the way through, because this is much more complicated than a template-based website. It needs to be customized, and the means and the solution that I tend to do that is through Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver allows the web creator to be very versatile and very little to no restraints, and it will be able to handle the load that I'm going to put on it. So that's my solution, and the problem right now is creating that website. I'm familiar with Dreamweaver a little bit, but the challenge is to get reacquainted and to be competent enough to create an effective and professional website, so that my viewers, online viewers, can go and make decisions, accurate and professional decisions on what buildings they want to make, and they can get effective cost estimates on how everything is going to cost. So that is where I'm starting my venture, and thank you for tuning in. And my name again is Miguel, and I will see you in class. Thank you for watching.